Hello there. Welcome to Fridays with Tab and Chance. I am the gracious, loving, amazing wife, Tabitha Brown. How you want to introduce yourself, babe? Because this is the topic. How you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Chance. What's up?
It's my husband, Chance. This energy right here is how you know this episode finna go, okay? And also disclaimer, because I had dental work, I just had some medicine, so I might be a little loopy.
Me drooling.
Bring the beat in. Fridays with Tab and Chance. Ba-dum, boom, boom. Fridays with Tab and Chance.
You did good on your harmony right there.
Eh, 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 eh.
I don't think that's part of the robot.
Okay, so today's topic is who we were, who we are, and God's still working on us. So when I say who we are, this all stemmed from, I was in San Francisco the other week, and I was doing a talk, and it was a Q&A, and the lady asked how I am always able to respond graciously to people, right? And I was like, well, first of all, I don't want you to think that this has always been Tab, right? Because, 5 years ago, when I had my moment in the bathroom with God and I gave my life to Him, right, for real, when I said, God, if you heal me, you can have me, something in me shifted. And for the last 5 years on this freedom walk, but on this obedience walk, He really changed me, right? He really changed how I see things, how I talk, how I walk. Like He just changed something inside of me. And so prior to that, I told her, I said, honey, there was a time when you weren't going to outcuss Tab. Listen, I mean, even as an actress, of course, as an actress, I'll take a role, but even now I'm very cautious. Like it has to really be part of the character for me to go there. Because it don't feel comfortable to me anymore. But it used to feel real comfy. And it used to feel good. Okay? You won't go outcuss me, but who I was when me and Chance first got together almost 25 years ago was not her either. I always say Chance taught me how to cuss, y'all. He taught me how to get with folk, okay? That's y'all Uncle Chance. So
I taught you how to see. I taught you how to see people who needed to be cussed out.
well, it started with him. You was the first one. So I want y'all to understand, like y'all know we're gonna keep it real, right? When we first got together, well, first of all, growing up, my parents, of course, they argued. They had to, right? Because they also got a divorce. But I never saw it. They would close their door. It was always like a secret that they argued. Like I never seen it. Which is why when my parents got a divorce, I was like, how y'all get a divorce? Y'all don't never even argue because
Hey,
they hid it from us.
Your parents used to be like this, close the door. You get on my damn nerve. I can stand it. I'm so sick.
And you know what? You're probably right. Because my mama rarely raised her voice. She was a very quiet spoken woman. Honey, I bet you they was in there.
I hate your ass. I can't.
They was whispering and fighting, but I never saw it. They never argued in front of us. So that was my understanding of a relationship. Like, oh, it's all love, but then all of a sudden it was a divorce. I didn't know why, right? Because I'm young, I ain't supposed to know. But was that your experience growing up?
Absolutely not.
So you heard and saw it all.
everything. My mama cussing right now.
Zane, I ain't say that. That's your son.
Right now. Whether she at the grocery store, Goodwill, buying some furniture, somebody getting cussed out.
Because God's still working on her too. Okay. So when we first, I think, when we were so young too when we got together. We were 19, and I think our first, and when you first together, it's all bliss. Y'all young, we young. What are we arguing about? But our first like real argument, which of course I can't tell you what it was about, but I remember how I felt. I don't remember what he said, but I remember how I felt. In our first like bad argument where like I saw him be like enraged, it scared me. And I was like, he just like the way his voice, it scared me. And I got mad because it scared me. But then it made me mad at myself because I was like, I'm a punk. he done scared me. My dad ain't raised no punk. So my thought was like, man, I'm gonna use some of the stuff he doing. I'm gonna use him on him, and started getting my get back, and that's how I learned how to fuss and cuss. With the best to do it. Okay, the Lord's still working on him. This Uncle Chance, right? This ain't not Auntie Tay.
The Lord did a whole lot of work on me though.
But the Lord has done a whole lot of work on both of us. But really. So that's what this is all about. Who we once were. And like how do you remember, babe, when we first got together? How do you remember me when we in the beginning? Because also y'all gotta understand, I was a hippie. I'm very flower child, very different. Always have been.
How do I remember what?
Like, in the beginning, like how, because I feel like a part of me has always really been graceful.
How do I remember you?
Yeah, like when we first, before, because the seasons have changed. When we first got together, I want a cusser,
No.
right? And
I'm
never
laughing
really
at
yelled.
I'm laughing at you right now. How you trying to act like now? Tab got a different side where she'll get nasty, and she went through a moment where she trying to act like she.
But I was tough.
You wasn't tough.
Babe, I was tough.
You wasn't tough, babe.
Babe.
Listen, I tried to tell you that you wasn't tough. All right. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna answer your question. How I remember you. You was like green. You just green. Like I think back to Laguna, with you getting taken advantage of, in that living situation. And then I think about us and our move to Greensboro and the 5 years that we were there and just some of the arguments that we had as a young couple. Yeah, there was a growth process. You've never been one to like, depending on the subject, allow people to take advantage of you. You've always been about your business. But you would give, where I feel like I contributed, and where a lot of our arguments would be, is where it would be you giving up too much grace, or the grace is not consistent when it comes to me, or, you know what I mean, early stuff, to what we learning, and then I'm learning about myself as well. But I don't really look at you as being, I ain't never look at it like that.
When we argue now, versus when we used to argue.
Oh, it was nasty back then.
That's what I'm saying.
But you went through, but it was
I went
like
through stages to get there.
Yeah, but you weren't like.
I mean, I wasn't nasty, but I
you
can
could
hold
be
my
nasty.
own.
Yeah, I mean, you could be nasty,
I wasn't
but
gonna
when
be
provoked,
no punk no more.
Yeah, and I would oftentimes, but I ain't never. I mean, you was green depending on the topics, but you were never like no sucker. You know what I mean? Like
right.
No, like just I ain't gonna say that. You was. Because I don't think that I would have ever been attracted to that. I just, you know what I mean?
My dad has always taught me to be independent, to stick up for myself, ask for what I want, right? But I would do that without argument. That's how I still move now. Is why, I can walk in the room and say, no, I want this, and that's it, right? especially now as a completely free woman. But I think
You were very much so in touch with your feelings and how to articulate it earlier than I was. And where we got into a lot of arguments was when you telling me that we need to talk, and I'm like, I don't want to talk. Most of our arguments, that's what they were about. I don't want to talk. But you mad. Yeah, I am.
I want to talk about it.
And I
now.
don't want to talk about it. It ain't nothing
Yeah.
that you're going to be able to do
Yeah.
to help me get from being mad. Those were the things that we would oftentimes fight about. And
Because I didn't know how to let stuff go.
yeah, and when we would lash out at each other, or I would lash out because that's what I saw. And
Yeah.
then she would not immediately, because she was green, you know what I mean? Like you know, but it, I just remember a couple of arguments to where I would be like, she just said that to me, like, you know, this shit, you know, but
Wait, what's one of the worst things did you remember that I ever said to you? Because people be thinking that I ain't never had a spot.
that ain't for
You can't
I
tell
ain't
them.
telling that.
You gonna tell them?
Nah, they don't need to know that. But it was bad.
Did I cuss?
Absolutely.
Is it when I was pregnant?
Absolutely.
Back in the past, because I was pregnant and I was emotional. See how we both remember the same moment.
What?
Hey, I didn't mean it.
said-
Though. Was it 3 words?
Woo.
But
I said,
first of all,
that one hurt.
wait.
But
No, but remember when I was emotional, pregnant. But I do remember I said, I hate you. And you said, you hate me? I hate you.
yeah.
That might as well be cussing. But I was pregnant. And I don't even know. I probably wanted something good to eat. I don't even know why. I can't even remember what it was.
You hate me, and then the cuss words that followed behind it.
The BAN.
You sorry?
You know what BAN is. I don't even know why. I can't even remember, but
Hey, she was
Listen.
in on me, and I was like, okay,
women who are
all right,
pregnant,
all
don't
right.
push us.
However,
I apologize.
you apologize, but that wouldn't look though. See, this is what people got to understand.
I want y'all to know that
Over-
our cameraman JR back here is crying.
Over
laughing.
over the course of 20 plus years and starting out at 19, if y'all thinking that I have never called Tab out of her name and that she has never called me out of mine, you are sadly mistaken.
Man, we didn't hit below the belt.
And we stayed below the belt for a few years.
Listen, there was no belt.
Like, it was like, hey,
There was no belt for
Hey.
many years. Like,
hey, we stayed for a few years.
you want to go
But
low, I'll go lower. That's what you want to do.
now, you know, as who we are, well, I ain't gonna say now. We went through that phase. I don't know how would you label us or call that phase?
I mean, it was such an immaturity because I think that was also the phase of not knowing who we were.
Yeah.
It's easy to call.
So give it a title, because I got something for the next phase.
That was the who we were.
Okay. Nah, I'm saying, so look, that is the, let's
Actually,
say
that's
that's
the getting to know us.
getting to know us phase.
Yeah.
Then we
Yeah.
went through a phase to where it was the prosecutor and the defense attorney. Where most of the yelling went away. And it's about collecting evidence and and establishing
Don't be
your
keeping
case.
no records of wrong over here, my brother.
Establishing your case. Now we're going to trial.
Look,
and this is
so
what we're
on
going.
this date,
Yeah.
okay, on this date you said, you did,
Mm-hmm.
okay? That's keeping a record of wrong, which is not a great thing.
Not a great thing.
It's not a
Then
good thing.
you know you get up and you rest your case.
And many times you didn't rest it.
You didn't rest it.
You want to keep it going.
You start referring back to it like it's law, like case law.
Yeah. Like you can't bring this back. First
You
of all,
bring it back in like case
You can't try
law.
somebody for the same
You remember in
murder
2019,
twice.
Chance versus LAUSD. When Choice got in trouble, and I went up there, you remember when you said this? Now let's bring it back forward. Now Quest is going through the same thing, Tab, and I did the same thing. So I want to refer back to 2019 with Choice and this.
That mattered them two different children.
That was that phase.
Yeah. All of this is learning.
Yeah.
Right? But we sit in front of y'all together for almost 25 years. More than half of our life. Mm-hmm. Chance is about to be 44.
Yeah, put my business out in the street.
I'm just saying we've been together 25 years and April be 25 years.
I mean, but you put my...
I ain't gonna be 44 until next year. You finna be 44 this month. You look good though, 44. Mm-hmm. You look good.
Mm-hmm. This one of them arguments right here. This one, keep it up.
But who we are now...
I ain't got time to be mad.
Man, it takes so much energy to be mad.
Tab will do something to me, or I'll do something to her, and don't matter who was wrong with. Man, I'm
you
sorry.
tired of being
look,
mad, man.
I ain't got time for this. But
Look, it be like,
I'm sorry.
hey, babe, I love you, babe. Don't be mad at me, babe. I don't even know. I don't know what.
It's hard to be mad.
It's like, well, for what?
It's inconvenient.
And it's exhausting.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go to sleep mad. Mm-hmm. I be like, babe, you still, man. He's talking, I ain't mad, but I don't want to talk to you right now. But babe, give me some sugar or something. Yeah. We have to do, and then we end up laughing at each other, and it's over. Like, it's so hard to stay mad when you are genuinely like in a good space, because we are. I feel like.
But if now saying that, if I'm going to answer, who I was a person that, man, I could be mad for months, not talk for months,
years.
It's
people right now that Chance. Hey, Chance is the. If you look in a dictionary and say out of sight, out of mind, you're gonna see Chance in there like this. If he don't see you, you might as well not even exist. If he can put that wall up. I be like, babe, I ain't talking to them.
Hey, listen,
y'all still ain't talked about it.
Y'all think so?
Nope.
Some people gonna say what they gonna say. I think that's a gift.
It is, because I can't
gift.
do it. My heart be like, oh, I hope they all right.
I can't do it with certain people now.
Yeah.
But but back then, who I was a person. I was built like that.
Yeah.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Blackie, stop that. Who
I am now, I'm still pretty much the same person with a circle of people, outside of a circle of people, that have become necessities in my life.
Well, I will say it is a gift in this season of our life, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Having to set boundaries. And he does an excellent job with that. With me, that is something I struggle with, right? And so we're always teaching each other things. When you're together with your partner for so long, who we were, yes, we grew, but some of those same qualities about us as we've grown have improved. So his ability to be able to set a boundary also helps me when he like, hey, babe, listen, you can't let people take advantage. You got to set a boundary here. And sometimes he's the only person who can help me see that. And I'll be like, dang, you're right. Because my heart, and it's also the thing that God deals with me on. And I wrote about this, I talk about everybody can't go. Chance, when he say everybody can't go, he ain't got to work on it. He ain't got to try to like.
I don't know what it is to work on.
Yeah, he be like.
Everybody should know they can't go. That's
know.
how I feel about it.
But I'm just saying, like, even
if you want me to say the uncomfortable thing, I'm gonna say it.
I know. I mean, I'm very direct too, but Chance, my direct can be with love. Chance direct make you feel like all your hair just got blew off of you in the heat. you be walking around like you melting.
Depending on what we talking about. So look, so if we talk about,
I'm sorry, my nose itching from this medicine.
If we go, so we talking about who we were. Mm-hmm. What was the other one?
Who we were, who we are, and God's still working on us.
Okay,
Things
so
that He's still working
I'm glad
on
you brought that up. So now, who I was, if we talking about it inside of a relationship, who I was. I was a person who lacked communication skills, right? A person who had a lot of insecurities, a person who had a lot of ambition, but didn't necessarily have the tools to go along with the ambition, right? That's who I was in the early stages of our relationship. I felt like what I took over the years from you and from life. So with that being said, that's how I was able to do those things, cut people off. And how I delivered the message back then was harsh. And so my messages to Tab would sometimes be harsh. My messages to people outside of my circle would be even harsher. Who I am now, I'm okay with certain feelings and being transparent, vulnerable. I feel like I have depending on the topic, a positive outlook on life because of life. Because what life has, I have learned to communicate better, but in honoring that I truly believe is a gift, I have learned how to still deliver a message that a lot of people are uncomfortable with delivering. Now, depending on who you're talking to, they're gonna tell you that God's still working on me with how I deliver the message.
But you are really good at communicating now. Like I want you to know that. Like there's times where you express yourself, and I be like,
"Don't be nasty. Stay focused."
I wasn't gonna be nasty, but I was gonna be like, man, look at my husband. Like it do make you look fine though. I'm gonna tell you, the more you communicate, I'll be like, take these drawers off, pull them to the side.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's the medicine that the dentist gave me. It's very attractive when you see your man evolve, okay? It is. I be like, man, because we done been through boy season, young man season, man and grown man. And sometimes he'll break something down about how he feeling. And I'll be like, oh, I love him so much. Like,
that's 20 years, though.
Yeah, 25 years.
I wish that I could have did it. I could have got to it earlier.
But you weren't supposed to get to it earlier.
But I need you to know the feelings were always there.
Right, you just didn't know how to get it out.
But you can't get it out.
It wasn't time yet, though.
Yeah, but you grow. It's where you grow, where a lot of things life will help you in feeling secure.
Yeah.
It's a balance. You know what I mean? And then the things that you're insecure about, they kind of go to the back of your head.
Yeah.
And then life too, with my kids and things, the value system starts to change.
Yeah.
And you forget that you was even embarrassed by something because it's more important to you that you give off the better impression. You lead by example. You know what I mean? So a lot of that stuff of who I am now just came from life.
Yeah. And growing in time, right? And the other thing is, that we talk about often is that it doesn't mean just because you've grown, you can't be triggered by something and have a moment.
And that's where God working with me on. Because depending on the topic.
In the moment. But for me, I
don't go back too far, though.
No. Well, you might have one slip up every now and then.
If you're messing with my family, you're messing with my kids, right?
Yeah. But I think...
And then that other thing, that other demon that I deal with, and it's important that y'all know.
Basketball.
If you run up on me on that basketball court, God working with me on that. He working with me on that.
Man, just check ball.
Check. If
he ain't even talking about him coaching, because that's another beast.
I was going to say, listen, if you
coaching and playing,
if you looking for mentorship.
Only for the children.
And you come to the basketball court. If you looking for, you don't want to get on the sideline with me. Like,
When
I love my kids.
When he lace up, when Chance lace up, man, who the old player, Uncle Drew? Who was the old player that they?
That's absolutely. Hey, absolutely.
You can't tell him nothing. Y'all gonna go in, okay?
No, we going in.
But
what we here to do?
But I also remember you've definitely come a long way even in that, because I remember being pregnant with Choice and getting thrown out of gyms. Haywood Haywood, that's his big cousin. You remember me having to come get you, Haywood? Please come get him. I'm waddling, big and pregnant. He ready to fight the refs. I'm like, somebody get y'all cousin, right? But you've grown from that. Now you be wanting to fight the refs for your little kids that they 10 and 11.
They be cheating my kids.
I'll be like, babe, that ref still is a man. that is a man or a woman. They just in a ref outfit. They still a human being. He turn up if the wrong call is called on his child, one of these children. And when I say his child, I'm not talking about
all
Quest.
My kids.
All of the kids is Chance's kids.
Them
okay?
kids love me and they trust me.
I
to
know they
protect
do,
them.
babe.
And my kids.
But you have to be remembering that they watching you too.
You triggering me right now about my kids.
See, God's still working on you.
God's still working with me.
But that's why his program is successful. That's why people love you, because you love and you're passionate about your children. You know, he even, he talked to me about them. I can't say nothing about the kids. And what you called me the other day?
Oh, you Jenny.
I'm Jenny Buss, and he don't even. I don't get to say that.
Stay up at the front office, Jenny. You ain't got to come down here.
He said, "You going over there? You sit down there."
Go on
I'm
over
like,
there.
Man, I can't. I'm an owner. I can't say nothing about the kid. I can't yet.
Nope.
Said, well, put my son in the game.
Sit on the bench, boy.
But anywho, but yeah, phases of life. We all change. We all go through seasons, but we grow. So I think underneath it all, who we once were is still who we are. It's just that we've grown, and now, like you said, we're able to articulate better, communicate better.
Navigate.
Navigate
certain waters.
Absolutely. So I wanted to talk about this because I think a lot of people, y'all might be in a season where it starts to feel like it ain't ever going to change, or it won't get better, or as Chance said, you may be embarrassed about how you act or your partner acts sometimes. Doesn't mean it is intentional. You may be just in the growing pains, and you got to get to a place of understanding. And also sometimes you got to see yourself, because I think we're a reflection of each other. And sometimes you don't see it until you see it, if that makes sense. And then you want to change that part of you. You want to start working on that part of you. I don't like how it feels to be angry. I find no pleasure in that. So I'm always looking for the grace and the love first to try to work through whatever, the issue may be. And I think because we've been together again for so long, it's easier now for us to laugh at the old ways. And even when we have our moments, they're over so quick. You know what I'm saying? So be encouraged in your situation, in your marriage, in your relationship, your partnership. That know that, things can change. They can get better. You will go through seasons. It can get worse. It can get worse. But then it also can get better, right? Dips, valleys, and mountains. But you can have a trigger. You can have a bad season. You can be two great people in a really bad season. Doesn't mean you won't come out of it and be able to sit and talk about it and laugh about it now, right?
Mm-hmm. You laugh about what you call me.
Hey, I was pregnant and my hormones.
It's all right.
It ain't what I call you, it's what you answer to. Did you answer to? Close it out for the people. Because God's still working on you.
God's still working on me.
Give some of the men some encouragement words.
Give them some encouraging words.
Yeah.
Let's see. Get out of your own way. Forgive yourself. Forget about that one thing that's holding on to you that you have surpassed. You've actually put distance in between you and it. Get out of your own way. Don't forget about it. It's impossible. I'm not saying you got to forget about it. I'm saying don't allow it to weigh you down. Push forward and know that you are better than that one mistake. You're better than that one thing that happened in your life. Move on. Have a good day.
Bring the beat in. And even if you can't have a good one,
Even if you can't have a good day.
don't you dare go mess up nobody else's. And it very good.
You forgot to, you hear?
Well, I thought you was going to do that.
You hear?
Man, I'm on medication right now.
You hear?
And listen, I might have said a couple things in here today. I meant it. Love y'all. Bye.